bed by taking the mattress and leaving me with the frame. I took off my wedding ring, a gold band with half a line of Morning Song by Sylvia Plath etched inside. And for weeks afterwards, my thumb would involuntarily reach across my palm for the warm, bright circle that had gone. I didn't throw the ring into the long grass, like women do in the movies. But a feeling began bubbling up, nevertheless, from my stomach to my throat. It could fling my arms out. I was free. At first, I took my freedom as a 17-year-old might. Hard and fast and negronied and wild. I was 34, and I wanted so much out of this new phase of my life. Intense sexual attraction, soulmate-feeling love that would force my life into new shapes. Work that felt joyous like play, but meaningful like religion. Friendships with women that were fusional and sisterly. Talk with everyone and anyone about what was worth living for. Books that felt like mountains to climb. Attempts at writing fiction and poetry and memoir. I wanted to create a life I would be proud of, that I could stand behind. I didn't want to be 10 years down the wrong path before I discovered once more that it was wrong. While I was a girl, waiting for my life to begin, my mother gave me books. The Mill on the Floss when I was ill, ballet shoes when I demanded dance lessons, A Little Princess when I felt overlooked. How could I find the books I needed now? I had so many questions. Could you be a feminist and be in love? Did the search for independence mean I would never be at home with anyone, anywhere? Was domesticity a trap? What was worth living for if you lost faith in the traditional goals of a woman's life? What was worth living for at all? What degree of unhappiness, lostness, chaos was bearable? Could I even do this without my mother beside me? Or approach any of these questions if she wasn't already fading from my life? And if I wanted to write about all this, how could I do it? What forms would I need? What genre could I be most truthful in? How would this not be seen as a problem of privilege, a childish demand for definition, narcissistic self-involvement when the world was burning? Wouldn't I be better off giving away all I have and putting down my books, my movies, my headphones, and my pen? When would I get sick of myself? The questions felt urgent, as well as overwhelming. At times I couldn't face the page, printed or blank, at all. I needed to remind myself that starting out on my own again halfway through life is possible, has been possible for others, and that this sort of life can have beauty in it. And so, I went back to the writers I'd loved when I was younger. The poetry of Sylvia Plath, the thought of Simone de Beauvoir and Mary Wollstonecraft, the novels of Virginia Woolf and George Eliot. I read other writers, Elena Ferrante, Zora Neale Hurston, Toni Morrison, for the first time. I watched them try to answer some of the questions I had. This book bears the traces of their struggles as well as my own, and some of the things we all found that help. Not all of the solutions they and I found worked, and even when they didn't work all of the time. If I'd thought life was a puzzle I could solve once and for all when I was younger, I couldn't believe that any longer. But the answers might come in time if I could only stay with the questions, as the lover who came with me to Wollstonecraft's grave would keep reminding me. I am then going to be the first of a new genus, Mary Wollstonecraft wrote to her younger sister Everina at the age of 28, having quit her job as a governess and made her way to London to write. Like so many of the women I turned to, Wollstonecraft was forced to make her life for herself, which she did over and over, which is why I thought to begin with her. I tremble at the attempt, yet if I fail, I only suffer, and should I succeed, my dear girls will ever in sickness have a home, and a refuge where for a few months in the year